into the camera?
Am I? You're dangerous. Goes at a funny angle, like that house is in Reading.
Yep.
The line comes at a funny angle.
Yep.
Right now we're in Reading. This is Pocahontas. But back there, Williams is Bethel. The Forgotten Lane. I wrote a letter to the first selectman, even though I went to see him. And I said, sir, I would suggest that you drive down my road and think of the fact that I have been paying taxes without ever being late for over 20 years, and nothing has been done to the road that I live on. I said, and after you drive on my road, I would ask you, how would you feel? I did not get a response from that letter.
Yeah.
That's Putnam Park over there.
Yep.
State Park. The deer used to live there. I think they've moved over to the other park because I live close to two parks. This is a state park, and the other one is too. The other one is a much larger park, but it's not as developed as this one. This is a very old one.
Right.
Very old. Putnam State Park is a historical park because there was some fighting in the Revolutionary War right here. And I should give you the folder about it. It's interesting. It's interesting if you like historical stuff.
Oh yeah, I do love historical stuff.
The guy that takes care of Putnam Park lives in that house. And then there's a pavilion here that's gorgeous, brand new. It was dedicated like a year and a half ago.
Did you say?
Huntington Park, which is around the corner from where I live, that is 800 acres. It's big, but it's not too well developed at all.
It's more of a raw park.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's got 2 ponds. It has some horse paths for horses to ride. A lot of people go to walk their dogs there. There are some paths for people to walk, but you have to know where you're going. You can get lost in that park.
Sure.
It's huge.
It's a big park.
Yes, it is. It's in 3 towns. It's in Bethel, Newtown, and a corner of it is in Brookfield.
Right.
So it's a very large park. And at one time, this guy Huntington, who had made his money in railroading, he and his wife lived there, and they had 1 daughter, and they had a fire in the house, and the daughter and the mother got out of the house. The husband was not home at the time. And it damaged the house, and after that she was very easily spooked, the wife. And we knew a couple where the woman of the couple worked in the house with the madam, that she called her the madam, and her husband used to raise grouse, and then Huntington would invite his New York buddies to this place, and they would go grouse hunting.
Yep.
In the park, and the couple, the Grindles, were given a house to live in, rent-free plus salaries to the 2 of them, and the Grindles had absolutely no children at all. They had nephews and nieces in England, but not here, and eventually, Mr. Huntington died, and then Mrs. Huntington became very disabled, and Mrs. Grindle could not take care of her, so she was moved to a facility, and then she died. And when she died, when they read the will, that family of Huntingtons left 200 acres and the house to a niece and a nephew that lived in the Carolinas somewhere.
Wow.
And they came up and they asked Mrs. Grindle to help them to clear out the house. They were going to sell the house, but they would hold on to some of the acreage in case one of their children decided to build something there. So she helped this nephew or niece to clean out the house, and the lady said to you, take whatever you want. So Mrs. Grindle took some absolutely gorgeous antiques. What? Whoa! I mean, I don't go for antiques, but these items, Christopher, were just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And she got them for nothing.
Wow.
She had them crated and she shipped them to England to her family.
Wow. When did this happen?
Oh, quite a while. Years ago, probably 10, 12 years ago.
Wow.
But the madam was very good to the Grindles.
Yep.
Of course, they were good for them. And then there is a larger pond. There's a small pond, and then there's a big pond. And the big pond was big enough to have an island on it. And what Mr. Huntington liked to do, he liked to have his New York buddies, because he was on Wall Street, and he would decide that they would have a picnic on the island, as he called it.
Right.
And in order for them to have a picnic on the island, then Mrs. Grindle had to do all the cooking, and Mr. Grindle would take this boat that Mr. Huntington arranged for, or rented or whatever, and they would carry all the food from the dock to the island. Then when the guests came, then Mr. Grindle had to get the people in the boat and take them over to the island so they could have a picnic on the island in Connecticut.
Wow. That's a great story.
That's a little different. But it's a beautiful park. I like that park. Now the deer, a lot of them live there. Some of them bed down just over the line at the next door neighbor, the Durrells, because they used to have a dog, but that David left his wife or divorced her, and so they don't have a dog anymore. They have a cat, but a cat isn't going to bother deer. So Marie sees the deer that come to our yard, and she sees them jump over the stone wall, and we are of the opinion that some of them sleep there. There's a lot of deer in the area. Now you're gonna.
So what did you say? You had 3 run-ins with deer?
Yes, I have. Hold this a minute, please.
Okay.
Because I have to open this, because I feed the guys at the dump where I go.
Well, you want to wait till we get there before you root around?
Yeah, I have to get them out. You hold that, please.
Oh, candy.